Hello there.
We begin, of course, with this, for the French Prime Minister. It's been being spoken about a great deal, of course, even as he begins to think about who to appoint to his cabinet. What is being said about him on the internet?
Well, quite a lot's being said online, and a lot of online reaction, particularly in France, has been mostly quite positive. Of course, we're hearing 77% of the Parti Socialiste are in favour of his rising to the position of Prime Minister. 61% of French in general are obviously quite happy as well. So we've got this survey in the Nouvel Observateur. It says 6 out of 10 French people are in favour of his appointment. So we won't break down the figures too much, but if we have a look at some of the other statistics we're seeing, we're getting more light-hearted ones coming through as well. This person on Twitter evoking that poll back in Elle magazine, where it said, of course he's popular because 20% of French women would like to have a torrid affair.
And not just an affair,
him.
a torrid one.
A torrid affair, exactly. So we'll let people conjure up images in their own mind there. But that's one way of explaining his popularity. Of course, not everyone is happy. We are seeing other reaction, particularly those on the hard left. They're quite unhappy with Valls as the new Prime Minister. Of course, he was the sort of in charge of the police before. He's associated with surveillance, the Big Brother state, certainly in favour of more CCTV cameras. And now we're seeing these sorts of images being posted online on Twitter. So it's not everybody who's happy with it. But it's not just being talked about here in France. We're seeing a lot of discussion and comment in the international media. So, of course, Spain, very happy with not just Valls, but also Anne Hidalgo becoming the new mayor of Paris. They're pointing out there that this is the Spanish leaders now at the helm of French politics. We're also seeing some interesting reaction coming from the UK. Of course, we're seeing comparisons being drawn with is he the new Tony Blair? Of course, that's bound to get people talking in the UK. Past Notes in The Guardian is breaking down the differences and the similarities, and a lot of people are saying yes. Denis McShane, former UK Europe Minister, he's the closest thing France has to Tony Blair. He himself has described himself as Blairite as well. And we've got an interesting tweet from Alistair Campbell, of course. That was Tony Blair's sort of spokesman, and he says here that Valls was my opposite number as Jospin's spokesman. Now he's the French Prime Minister, and I'm on an errand to the post office for his wife, C'est la vie, I guess. We've got some interesting replies to that people can look up themselves online, but it's quite a light-hearted take.
And attracting a good deal of attention, apparently. We're going to stay in France for a moment, Hala, and an unusual story, an attempt to ban symbols of love in the City of Love.
That's right. There's been a new... We've got a new, petition online. This is two American expats who live in Paris, and they're campaigning for Paris to ban love locks. Now, of course, these are these padlocks that people are attaching to bridges all across Paris. They're saying there's lots of reasons why we don't want these locks. Apparently, they're damaging the infrastructure. They're very, very heavy, around 990 tons or something of weight. And so they've got this petition on the go saying unlock your love, try and send e-locks instead. They're calling on the mayor of Paris to basically ban these outright. And we are getting some interesting reaction online, and they're coming in for a fair bit of criticism. Some people saying, you're just bitter old women, but it does seem that there is some support there for them. They have got over 1,000 people signing the petition, and that number is growing.
Oh, interesting. I'm sure you see the tourists looking at them. I would have thought it was one of the attractions of Paris. Hala Mohiuddin, yes. A look there at what is making waves on the internet. It is 51 minutes past 8 here in Paris. Time for Focus. We head tonight to Morocco, a country often seen as merely a crossing point for migrants seeking to leave Africa for a better life in Europe.